The Giants and Cardinals are two of baseball's oldest franchises, dating all the way back to the 1890s. These two teams are National League originals. Great players and magical moments are part of the history of two of baseball's best organizations. Today, they meet with the Cardinals in a push for the playoffs. Final game of the series, next. We've got Sunday baseball here in St. Louis. We come to you from Busch Stadium. This is the final game of this three-game series. Giants-Cardinals. Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, and it's powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Jeremy Affeld. Well, the Giants have lost two tough games on Friday and on Saturday, and they're going to try to salvage one game in this three-game series. Also, it's the last road game of the year, so what do? You hand the ball to the kid, Andy Suarez.
You do, and I'm really impressed with Suarez on the entire year. He's got a chance to finish off the year really strong. He's one of the best in all rookies in a lot of categories. First in innings pitched, he's second or third in strikeouts. I mean, he just has a good year going, and I think that they're looking to see him finish off strong, and he's got to come in and do what he's been doing all year long, pound the strike zone, get quick outs, and just not worry about the runs, not worry about if they score him runs. He just needs to go and try to keep runs off the board himself, and I think they're believing that he can do that today. Miles
Michaelis is on the hill for the Cardinals, and he is very good. All right, stay tuned as we'll take you to our NBC Sports Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. And by SoFi, a modern finance company.
Back here in St. Louis as we get ready for Giants-Cardinals baseball. And here's our BioFreeze moment. It's powered by BioFreeze. Cool the pain. Monday in San Diego, Andy Suarez. Well, what did he do? Well, he went 7 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. He threw 87 pitches, and he picked up his 7th win of the season. He was very, very good. And Andy Suarez is on the mound this afternoon trying to get the Giants a win in this 3-game series and maybe just derail the Cardinals for one day or so. All right, when we come back to Busch Stadium here in St. Louis, we're going to have the lineups and we're going to have the very first pitch of this game. We'll have all of that right after these messages. Is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open this weekend. It's 74 degrees here at the ballpark. You see the winds in humidity, and it is a very, very nice day to wrap up this 3-game series. Let's take a look at the Giants lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll go like this. Blanco will be in the leadoff spot. Then it's Panic, Longoria, and Crawford. Crawford hitting in the cleanup spot. Then it's Hundley, Shaw, and Alan Hansen gets a start in right field. Aramis Garcia, see what he did yesterday. He's hitting 8th, and Suarez will hit 9th.
Michaelis on the mound for the Cardinals. First year back from Japan. See, his record is pretty good. So going to try for his 17th win today. ERA really good, 3.01, 185 innings pitched. He's very effective. He has given up 15 homers, but he will pitch aggressively. He'll throw a lot of strikes. He will get outs quickly, and this is how he does it. His fastball and his slider, predominantly his curveball to finish guys off, and then he occasionally throws a changeup and splitter. But all that pie chart's telling me and everybody else is he throws the kitchen sink at everybody. Defense behind him this afternoon, left to right, Ozuna, Bader, Martinez. Third to first, Jerko, DeYoung, Munoz, Carpenter, and Hall of Famer Molina, and of course Michaelis pitching.
And here's Blanco to lead things off, and the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's a called strike at the knees. So we get started a minute early at 1:14. Gregor rolls the first one right to Carpenter, and that's how this game gets started. A little slow ground ball to first, and here's Panic. Only 3 Giants have faced Michaelis before. That's Blanco, Longoria, and Crawford.
I don't think he was the same pitcher when they faced him.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
In the Padres organization.
Learned a lot in Japan. Here's Panic. Panic looks at a strike. Had a nice day yesterday as he went 3 for 4. He was at first base yesterday. I'll say this about Michaelis is Panic hits the ball hard, but right on the ground to Munoz. Is he likes to work quick.
He works quick and he throws a lot of strikes. He doesn't walk very many people either, so the innings will go quickly. His only struggle right now seems like numbers wise that 4th inning, that second time through the order. It seems like if he gives up runs, that's when he gives it up. But he's going to want you to commit early in the count. He's not going to nitpick much on the corners. Be ready to swing.
You see Longoria in his numbers, 16 home runs, 53 runs batted in, and he takes a called strike. Longoria took an 0 for 5 yesterday after picking up 3 hits on Friday night. And he hooks this one right behind Ron Wotus. And quickly, it's 0-2. Longoria did face Michaelis when he was with the Padres. 1 for 3, the pitch. So we're going to foul back, going right at him.
Talking to some of their guys earlier, they said one of the things that Michaelis did in Japan was he calmed his head and his upper body down. He used to kind of be throw everything at you guy, and they had really relaxed him and allowed him to be more efficient.
Swing and a miss as the Giants go down quietly here in the first inning with Andy Suarez coming out. Here's their starting lineup, and it's also brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Carpenter, Martinez, and DeYoung. Ozuna, the cleanup hitter. You see the numbers for Jerko, against left-handed pitching. Molina, he'll hit in the 6th slot. Then it's Bader Munoz and Mike Michaelis will hit 9th.
Your National League rookie innings leader is pitching for the Giants. Andrew Suarez looking to replicate his last start for San Diego tonight, or this afternoon, excuse me. 153 innings pitch. Pretty effective for his first year, and this is how he does it. Fastball, cutter, change, curveball, power sinker, low to mid 90s, and throws that cutter and curveball as well to get you out. A lot of ground balls if he's going good.
So Carpenter to lead things off. Carpenter 2 for 9 in the series as he takes the first pitch down low. This is the first time Andy Suarez has ever faced the Cardinals. Overshift is on, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. StatCast AI powered by AWS. See, Carpenter's going to hit a lot of ground balls to Panic and to Garcia, and he rolls this one foul as it hits the tarp. That didn't used to be that way. I remember Carpenter being a guy that hit around 340, 350, and then all of a sudden he became a home run hitter.
They asked him to hit for more power and sacrifice his average. It's worked. Leadoff hitter hitting 35 homers or whatever he's got.
Lines this one right into the shift as Crawford makes the catch.
Defense behind Suarez this afternoon, left to right. Shaw, Blanco, and Hansen. Third to first, Longoria, Crawford, Panic, and 4 for 4 yesterday, Garcia, Hundley catching, and of course Suarez pitching.
On the ground to third, where Longoria's got it right near the bag. And a high throw! And safe at first is Martinez. Giants are, I'm sure, going to take a look at this to see maybe if Garcia swiped him. But if he didn't, then it's going to be an error on Longoria. Or it should be. I guess Giants are going to look at it right away.
They are, and it looked like our boy at first base over there, Kerwin, looked a little delayed and unsure right there. He didn't really know what to call, and I would check it too. A lot of baggy jersey running up the line right there. Something had to have touched it.
I agree.
I wasn't a big fan of skin-tight uniforms because I really didn't have the body to have a skin-tight uniform. But if I'm a position player, I'm wanting that thing as skin-tight as possible.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity.
Got him.
Yeah, I think they did. So they called him out. Longoria immediately signals to Garcia, thank you very much. You know what, and that's the proper thing to do.
That's right.
Let your teammate know that.
Saved me.
I appreciate that. I know you're doing your job, but I appreciate it. Here's DeYoung. DeYoung, shortstop with some power, takes a strike. The thing about this Cardinal lineup, you don't see many 300 hitters in the lineup. There's just one, and that's Martinez. But each and every guy can hit the ball out of the park. A lot of averages right around 265 to 270. But they're all dangerous, including a couple of guys coming off the bench like the Giants saw in the game yesterday. There's a swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. Nice inning for Suarez. We'll head to the second. It's 0-0.
#1 choice for tool and equipment rental with 19 stores to serve you in Northern California.
Here in St. Louis on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, it's a 0-0 ball game. Both starting pitchers with 1, 2, 3 first innings, and here's Brandon Crawford to lead things off. Crawford hitting .256. He's got 13 home runs. And he swings and misses. Crawford going with the high pant legs today. Showing off the socks.
Sometimes you got to change it up.
Change it up. 0 for 2 on Friday. 0 for 5 in the game yesterday. And the next pitch is down low. So the first pitch that Michaelis is thrown out of the strike zone. Crawford rolls this one to Carpenter. And Michaelis covered. Our player resume is brought to you by Indeed. It's Nick Hundley. His father, Tim, coached football for UCLA, SMU, UTEP, Washington, Colorado, Oregon State, Idaho, UNLV. Nick played baseball and football in high school, quarterback, defensive back, but focused on baseball for his senior year.
He made a good call on that.
Yeah, I think he did. Hundley takes down low, 247, 9 home runs, 30 runs batted in.
I think there's a lot of quarterbacks, or I should say catchers, that have quarterback mentalities because they got to watch the whole field and they got to kind of control the game.
Well, that's pretty much what they are, right? On the field, quarterbacks.
They always called me a kicker, and I'm not really sure. I was kind of offended by it. I'm assuming that not dodging dissing kickers, but I don't think they were saying it as a positive way. They didn't call me a wide receiver.
I don't think I would take the kicker thing as I don't think I'd take it as a compliment. I don't. Here's Hundley, and he hits a high pop-up foul in out of play, although there are kickers out there that I'm sure would disagree with that. You know what? When you start watching football games, all of a sudden that kicker that takes all this abuse becomes the most important guy on the field.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it.
I know watching the Stanford game last night, which was very enjoyable. If the kicker doesn't come through at the end, then they don't go to overtime. Hundley with a bouncing ball up the middle, but DeYoung is there to cut it off and throw him out.
Friday the 28th, it's African American Heritage Night presented by PG&E. Your special event package includes a Willie Stretch McCovey t-shirt and a ticket to see the Giants take on the Dodgers. Visit sfgiants.com/special events for African American Heritage Night tickets. Stretch.
Here's Shaw hitting at .220 with a home run. He's got 7 runs batted in. And Shaw pops it up. This could be playable for Molina. It's not going to be an easy play, but it looked like maybe the wind pushed it out of play. So Molina will have to return back to the dish.
Walking back this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, he's caught all 3 games in this series. They had a 12 o'clock game yesterday. Shaw waited on that and fouls it to the left side. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes with Alan Hansen on deck. It's 0-0 here in the top of the 2nd inning. Got him. And that'll end the inning. Giants are coming up.
TriNet, human resources that know your business.
Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the San Francisco Giants into your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Ozuna with a bouncing ball to Longoria. 1 out.
Well, that infield should be busy today. If he throws like he knows how to throw and his stuff's doing the right thing, I think Longoria, Crawford should get some ground balls.
Here's Jerko at 272. The Cardinals come into this game. They're 4.5 back of the Cubs in the Central. They're 2 games back of Milwaukee, who's in 2nd place. But I think they're pretty realistic in thinking that the division is not something they're going to win, but the wild card is something that they're going to be able to participate in. They're 1.5 games up on the Rockies for that 2nd wild card spot. Jerko's got a base hit, and that's the first one in the game for either
team. How far would you go for a Togo? Brought to you by Togo Pretzel Rami. Yesterday, Yadier Molina's 2-run homer off Derek Rodriguez had an exit velocity of 100 miles an hour, 27 degrees launch angle, and it estimated at 402 feet. I'm disagreeing with the distance, but it was nonetheless still a homer.
He's having a solid year. '71 runs batted in. And 268. Another one of those hitters we're talking about in this lineup, right around that 265, 280 mark. Home run yesterday past his brother, who's just down to our left. Pokes this one to right, and he's got a base hit.
And left-handers pitching, that's kind of been what Yadi has done his whole career. He doesn't try to do too much with lefties for some reason. He's kind of been a guy that just kind of goes and hits it over second base. You'll see this pitch here is outside, 6-8 inches off the plate, and he just reached out and tapped it. That was not a strike, which also tells you you don't have to swing at strikes. PitchCast is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
Here's Bader. Bader also at 268. And he takes a low. Bader 1 for 2, scored a couple of runs on Friday. And then had a hit in 4 at-bats yesterday. He's a good player. He's got some power and he runs extremely well. If you're going to try to turn a double play, you got to speed things up with him. There's a strike. Mario Munoz is on deck. Just to keep an eye on Jerko. It's not likely he's going to go anywhere. And they call that a ball? 2 balls and 1 strike.
Unfortunately.
Tell me where it was.
That's a strike. Like, that's not even like borderline low. That's just like a low strike.
Swing. Gonna miss. 2 and 2.
Maybe the home plate umpire Ortiz is like a little frustrated with calling strikes every pitch because both these guys are throwing strike zones every time. Yeah, I'm mixing a ball call.
He got in such a good rhythm. Jerko at second, Molina at first. All back. There's a really nice swing from Bader. Suarez looks to second, and a pop-up that's going to reach the seats. So it remains 2 and 2. Giants will travel home to take on the Padres at home tomorrow night. The Cardinals will host the Brewers. Waited on that breaking ball and it was up, and it may very well be that Suarez got away with one. Finally, he's going to go out and have a chat. They may think that Jerko's got something going on at second base.
Yeah, you never know really for sure, but you have a mound visit like that when they don't really ever go out to the mound. The Giants aren't really a team that does a lot of mound visits. That they start taking some pretty good hacks on certain pitches you don't think they should take good hacks on. Even if they're not, you got to change something up just in case they are. If anything, it puts a message in the back of the hitter's head that Hundley didn't like what he was seeing.
Got him. Second strikeout.
Definitely makes you think when the very next pitch is blown by him, though.
Yeah, well, look, guys on the bench, coaches, keep an eye on what that base runner at second is doing. It looks like he's doing things that he normally wouldn't do. letting the hitter know location. Here's Munoz. Munoz, he's 273, 8 home runs. And he goes around, and it's no balls and 1 strike. The pitcher, Michaelis, is on deck. But his numbers swinging the batter pretty good. Line drive, base hit. Shaw's going to get to it. It's 1-0 St. Louis.
I definitely don't like second guessing after a hit, but to be honest, the pitcher's numbers do look good, but in my opinion, he's still a pitcher. And you don't want to intentionally walk, I guess, but I wouldn't throw anything in the strike zone to that hitter and just see how aggressive he was. And maybe he wasn't trying to throw that in the strike zone, but I'm always taking the risk on pitching to a pitcher.
Suarez is going to glove this, and he's going to beat Michaelis to the bag, and that'll end the inning. Point well taken, and I agree with you. 1-0. Giants coming up. O'Neill in extra innings with his walk-off off of Mark Melanson. It was the 3rd curveball that O'Neill had seen, and this one was up a little bit. Not a lot, but O'Neill ran into it, and he walked it off.
"22nd time a team has scored in their last at bat off the Giants." It's just, to me, that it does stink, but it just shows you how often and how many close ball games these Giants play, man. This pitching staff being asked to hold a lot of close ball games. Usually the 1-run ball game, or they're tied a lot.
Alan Hansen's going to lead things off. Giants do not have a hit or a base runner in this game. So it'll be the bottom 3 in the lineup: Hansen, Garcia, and Suarez. And Hansen pokes it foul. 263 with 8 home runs. He's got 39 runs batted in. Miles Michaelis. Hansen. Foul. 3 years in Japan. I guess it really doesn't matter what country you play in when you figure it out. And clearly Michael has figured it out in Japan.
Those numbers are pretty good over there. And it's amazing. It like you said, it's not necessarily a country, but it's also whatever pitching coach. For some reason, he found a pitching coach that happened to click with him and trusted what he had to say, and he saw that his stuff got better. And then you come back here and you're like, let's see how much better it's gotten. And obviously, first year back, about you have 16 wins right now. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Well into right center field, but Bader looks like he's got a beat on it and he makes the catch. Our smart play is brought to you by your Northern California Ford dealers. Garcia yesterday 4 for 4. He had a double and 2 RBIs. He became the second Giant since 1913 to have 4 hits in a game after striking out 4 times. Dr. Pence did it in 2015. Pretty good pitch, called a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Overall hitting .368 with 3 home runs. Got 7 runs batted in, almost the same pitch, and that evens the count. Swing and a miss. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a perfect example of a pitcher working off the pitch before. They wanted to go in before that, and he threw it way away, and then Yadi's able to go back in there because now it's 2 sides of the plate, and Ramos doesn't know that, what they were trying to do earlier.
Foul. It rolls through the coaching box. 1-0 Cardinals. Cardinals picked up a run in the bottom of the 2nd inning on an RBI single by Munoz. Down the right field line, and a foul ball. Through all of this with Garcia, he swung the bat well, but he's also had a little bit of the magic Wandu working.
Yep.
He had a couple of RBIs in the game on Friday when he blooped the single into center field. And he stays alive, stays at 1 and 2.
But you know what it tells me? It tells me he can strike out 4 times in a game. He doesn't take that game with him into the next game. He still stays aggressive. He gets 4 hits. I mean, that means you're mentally pretty good in understanding that you're not going to have your best day every day, but the next day is a new day. He's able to make that adjustment.
Got him. Started the breaking ball at Garcia.
Here's that last pitch. After seeing all those pitches in, he starts that curveball, locks him up. He didn't quite get it to where he wanted to get it. That might have been his slider right there that kind of almost backed up at 87 miles an hour. And a lot of times when hitters see those sliders back up, they think it's just going to come in on them, and it sometimes catches the plate.
Suarez gotten a lot better at the plate. He's 3 for 46.
You know you're going bad when you just said he's getting a lot better and he's hitting .065.
Well, we thought he was going to be 0 for 46. What are you talking about? So, 3 pitches, and that'll end the inning. 4 strikeouts for Michaelis. Top of the order coming up. 1-0 Cardinals. Prospects, there you take a look at them. Number 1, the Giants' first-round pick, the second player taken in the draft this year. Joey Bart, then Ramos, Anderson, Shaw, who's in left field, Luciano, Jelly, Tyler Beatty, then Fabian, Gonzalez, and Heath Quinn. So there they are, and hopefully each and every one of those young men will be in the big leagues, and I'm sure 2 or 3 of them will be there for sure. That's not our rating, by the way. That's MLB Pipeline.
I'm thinking that catcher guy probably is going to be up here at some point.
Absolutely. Here's Carpenter. Carpenter lined out to Crawford to open up the bottom of the first. And here it's a swing. And he's going to miss. Jose Martinez and then Paul DeYoung are your first 3 hitters in the lineup, and the first 3 hitters to face Suarez here in the 3rd. Say this about Suarez: from the day he made his first start back in late April, early May, to today, his fastball velocity is exactly the same, maybe even a tick higher.
It's a good sign.
And he's not a guy that is, he's not a big guy. He will get bigger. He will put on some weight. It's 3-2.
Good and bad weight, unfortunately.
Yeah. Be careful.
Big league spreads, man. Cookies are good.
Carpenter stays alive. What did you have yesterday? You had like 12?
No.
No, that was the other night.
2 or 3. I had to have
Friday.
rally cookies. I kind of got into a rally cookie and it wasn't working, so I tried another one.
Road rally cookies. We've had a lot of them, and they haven't worked.
Yeah, they definitely have not.
On the ground, and this time it's Garcia, and Suarez is going to get there to beat Carpenter.
Great play.
Great play by a catcher playing first.
Wow.
Suarez almost got caught being a spectator.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of are in awe of the play because you're thinking that ball's right down the line, but the ball actually got past Aramis right there, and he had to kind of lay out at an angle and snag that ball. Really good play. And sometimes you're, as a pitcher, you're almost in awe of it, and then you're thinking, wait, I got to get over there, because Aramis is going to look at him like, how am I supposed to lay out and run to the bag?
Right. Here's a called strike to Martinez. Garcia might decide he actually likes that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that catcher's gear, I don't know about that.
Foul tips into the kneecaps.
Another strike, and it's 0-2.
And it's a good time to be a first baseman for the Giants. A few years ago, there's a bunch of old guys in the pen, and we probably would have just sat there and looked at him and said, you better beat that guy to first.
And the guy sitting at home watching is about as good as anybody defensively at first, and that's Brandon Belt.
He can pick it.
Martinez is a tall hitter, but that pitch is still high. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he skies this one to right center field. Blanco is not going to get it. It bounces into the bullpen. And that's a ground rule double.
The last game of the season, Sunday the 30th, the Giants will honor their fans with Fan Appreciation Day. It'll be the Giants versus the Dodgers. Special game start at 12:05 p.m. Come out to the ballpark to experience the fun, have the chance to win some pretty awesome prizes like a 2018 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road, a Coors Light Yeti cooler, AT&T $1,000 gift cards, Alaska Airline flight vouchers. Fun in the sun.
Here's DeYoung. And DeYoung looks at a strike.
John Miller gave me a fun fact the other day that I'm glad that got changed, a rule change in the early 1900s. Shocker, he would know that. The ground rule double used to be a homer.
You didn't know that?
No. Just thankful that it's a double.
I mean, I don't know what John's numbers were, but I think there were a couple of years that Babe Ruth picked up.
He said 0.
Is that right?
Homers. You, on the other hand, would have been double digits, I think.
I led the league in ground rule doubles one year. No, I didn't. I did have a couple, though. Foul back, it's 1-2. If I hit one off the wall, I considered it a home run. Like that's close enough for me.
You broke into the home run trot and got a double.
Yeah.
I think it's a guaranteed double. I'm going to slow up here and enjoy it.
I'm just going to take my double and wear it. Young strikes out, so that's how sneaky Suarez can be.
He's got some deception with some kind of stays closed and kind of throws right over the top, but it's got that late movement. You'll see a lot of guys start to swing at balls almost a surprise swing, like a last second jump. And he's starting to do things that he didn't do early in the year. He's starting to pitch on that upper quadrant of the strike zone. You're seeing he's getting a lot of strikeouts up there because guys are kind of trying to zero in on him down and moving away.
He goes 92, 93, 94 up. Yeah, that'll work. Ozuna bounced out to Longoria in the second. First pitch is high.
I'm sure Madison has a little bit of an influence there on telling him to pitch the other quadrants. He's pretty good at it. Helping these young guys.
Well, I hope Andy Suarez is over the fact that he's a young guy and shouldn't be afraid to ask Madison Bumgarner some questions. It's 3-0 on Ozuna.
Misfired changeup right there. Can be effective at times. Got to chase those from time to time. 2-0, probably not gonna.
Swinging on 3-0 and fouling out of play. So Ozuna will take the walk. That's the first one issued by Suarez. Here's Jerko. Jerko scored the only run in this game. He let off, make that. He had a 1-out single in the second. 2 singles after that, and the Cardinals have their 1-0 lead. He's an aggressive hitter and he likes the first pitch. Not that one, it's wide. 1 ball and no strikes. 48 pitches for Suarez. So you can't not get that pitch down. It's up again. It's 2-0.
And you'll see Hundley start to work off that if it seems to be an issue. You see a lot more curveballs coming because those pitches start up just like those pitches, and you're trying any way you can to deke that hitter into swinging at stuff.
Well, that one Jerko thought may have been high. It's 2 balls and a strike. Pitch, it's 2-2.
That curveball right there that kind of wrapped around the plate a little bit, but really did a good job framing that pitch. Ball's probably just off, but comes back to the plate. And a lot of times catchers do that because if your release point is up, the curveball you have to finish out in front, and it kind of gets that finish back on your fastball, commanding that zone.
There's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. That's just about where Bumgarner was right when he got to the big leagues. 94, maybe 95 once in a while.
Yep. 92 to 95.
Up the middle, right into the shift. Panic steps on the bag. Side retired. After 3, it remains 1-0. Cardinals.
pretty good plays by Ramos Garcia. One on Longoria's wide throw, comes back, just gets the shirt. Tighter uniforms are definitely needed to be worn, and then an unbelievable play up the line. Getting dirty, showing some athleticism. Sanchez just getting to the bag. Good stuff.
Even Bruce Bochy said, well, we didn't know that he was going to be that good at first.
Yeah, they didn't even think he was going to be that good of a hitter. They said he didn't really hit in the minor leagues. They didn't know if he was ready to catch. Pretty good game caller, but he's, I think, surprised everybody. He's how many times did he play first in the minor leagues, did they say?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
So first time around, 9 up, 9 down. That means the Giants have not had a hit. So 28 starts, they're telling us, in the minor leagues.
So we were just kidding. Yeah.
Well, every once in a while we're going to guess. Hit on the ground to second. 10 up. 10 down. Here's Panic. But given the fact that Belt's banged up, you're looking to see a young man and his at bats, and it's just worked out very well. Yesterday Hundley had the day off, so you put Garcia where he usually plays, and that's behind the plate. Panic takes a strike. Miles Michaelis has got 4 strikeouts and no walks. And this is fouled out of play. And a quick 0-2. And tight to Joe Panic. Three hits as a first baseman yesterday. Slams one left center field, but Bader got a great jump and he got to it easily.
Yeah, pretty good piece of hitting by Joe. Putting the barrel on the ball, hits it hard, even cutting away from Bader, and Bader still got to him, got to that ball pretty quick. He's fast out there. Eh?
He is. He can move.
Good first step, takes the right angles, plus speed. Gold Glover. Potentially.
And a really nice young player. And a pop-up. Who's it going to be? Munoz. And he dropped it. I don't know if Munoz saw it all the way or if the sun was a problem. He doesn't have glasses.
It's always frowned upon by the coaching staff and the pitcher that if you lose the ball in the sun and you're not wearing glasses, you kind of look at the guy. They said they make stuff for that.
Well, yeah, especially if you look up in the sun and that's an issue. Yeah, somebody will make an issue out of it, as they should. Or somebody should run some out to him right now.
That would be.
I know it looks bad to put him on after the fact, but you may get another pop-up.
And lesson learned: if if a trainer has to run out a pair of sunglasses to you, you get the hint. There he is. He wants to.
Yeah, just give him yours.
That'd be even better.
Crawford takes in tight. Now you make it hurt when you hit one out of the park. Crawford rolled out to Carpenter in the second. right field. Moving over is Martinez, and he'll make the catch. That's a one-cheek swing. If you'd have got both cheeks into it, it may have made a difference. It stays 1-0 Cardinals. In April of 1989, Hank Greenwald and yours truly at the microphone.
And that's sliced to left field, and it's another chance for Mitchell, and he makes a barehanded catch.
In my entire life, I've never seen that happen.
Well, look at that. I have a feeling you're not alone.
You got to be kidding me.
Happened at the old ballpark, just 100 feet from here. And you're right, I'd never seen it before, and I don't think I've seen it since. And the thing about Mitchell is he overran it, and then he picked it up, and he picked it up with his eyes and threw up his bare hand, and he caught it. Unbelievable.
I was a kid watching that game.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
I was 10.
That's how old you were in '89?
That's how old I was in '89. I've got to meet him a few times since then. Been at a couple of the events out at the ballpark.
He's
opening day this year.
Always a gentle giant is what he's a big, strong guy. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fouls that one in and out of the glove of Hundley. Bader to follow. Giants do not have a hit. The Cardinals have 4. They put together 3 singles in the second. All right, let's see if Panic's got his glasses on.
He does. He does, and he made the catch.
I don't remember who the player was, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't have mentioned it. But we were in Cincinnati one day, and a fly ball to left that the left fielder lost it in the sun, and we ended up losing the game. And he had his sunglasses in his back pocket. And Danny Ozark, who was right at the end of a long managing career with the Phillies and then a year with the Giants. And I wish I had the tape of the choice words he had for the young man that came in from left field. Something about where you could put those sunglasses.
Yeah.
This is popped to right, and it's going to fall. And Garcia's got it, and his throw is going to be late. So Bader's got a blue double.
Well, sunglasses wouldn't have helped on that one, but I'll tell you what, that slide and barehanded grab right there and throw to second base, he's showing some athleticism. He should be proud of that. Here's that slide, block, and throw. I mean, if Bader wasn't as fast as he was, you might end up getting a guy.
Totally agree. Here's Munoz, who singled in the only run of this game in the second. You have a number of options here. You can pitch very carefully to Munoz if you choose, with Michaelis on deck, and then you have to face Carpenter. To right. Hansen's going to make the catch.
Really just shows you how deep the Cardinals bench is. These guys, some of these guys haven't played barely at all in any of the series, and they come in, they put together some pretty good bats.
They do.
Munoz right there. First time was a base hit to left, almost went with it to right.
So here's Michaelis, who hit a slow roller that Suarez fielded and raced to the bag, and he swings and fouls this one off the screen. "62 pitches for Suarez, and a base hit to right field. Michaelis is going to stop at first, as he's got an RBI single, and it's 2-0. He just slashed it right down the line.
Been kind of a consistent theme in this series so far. Balls getting hit down the line either way, and the ball's just sneaking through. Second day in a row of pitchers helped himself out for the Cardinals and getting RBI knocks. But he was late. It really wasn't a, he just swung to left and hit to right there. Unfortunately, there was a guy standing on second base when he did it.
Carpenter hits a high drive to right center field. Hansen back, and he makes the catch at the wall, and that'll end the inning. A run on 2 hits after 4, 2-0 St. Louis.
produced, or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Stream the Giants on the go. Great news, Giants fans. This season, once again, you can stream every NBC Sports Bay Area Giants broadcast on your desktop or mobile device. Giants games streamed on the go on the NBC Sports app.
Here in St. Louis, it's a gorgeous Sunday afternoon, and the Cardinals are leading 2-0. The Cardinals here in September are the only professional team in town. Remember, their football team is departed. It's too bad. It's a good town. It's a good town.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's awesome.
And their facility is 4 blocks from here, a downtown indoor facility where 49ers played so many important games. Here's Hundley. Hundley with a base hit as he goes after that first pitch. And Hundley is going to end up at second base with a leadoff double. Well, you called it. You said he was going to get that first pitch and take a good whack at it.
I'm really thankful that you said that. I was about to pat myself on the back, but gave me good credit there. I liked it.
Paying attention.
First pitch fastball in. Hacking. Giants saying we can hit balls down the line too. Now we just need to do it with a guy on second.
Well, here's Shaw. Shaw struck out on a high fastball in the second inning. And here he gets a cutter or a slider down and in, and it's 0-1. Swing and a miss. They're going to keep throwing it. If you can't get him in, then get him over. It's not something that you're taught at the major league level. It's a pretty good take right there.
Real good take. See what happens, you make fun of me eating cookies. And Alma just brought me almonds.
Come on.
Yeah.
Put them on top of your cookie that's over there. Here's the 1-2 to Shaw. Knocked down by Molina. 2-2. Hansen on deck. We're getting to the bottom of the order, and then Garcia. Got him. We were talking to Bruce Bochy before the game, and there was a situation yesterday, I think it was in the 10th inning, when Shaw was at the plate, tie game, and he had a 3-0 count. He had the green light, and Bruce Bochy really wanted Shaw to dig in, and if he got a fastball. And probably more so because you're a young player and you're afraid to make mistakes. But Shaw got a 3-0 fastball right down the middle of the plate, and he didn't swing. And I think Bruce Bochy's chat with Shaw was, I gave you the green light so that you would swing at that pitch.
That's right.
Because you can give the Giants the lead with one swing of the bat.
They said he had 4 3-0 counts in AAA this year, 4 hits. You know what they were? 4 homers.
Come on.
Yeah. So I think that's another reason they were like, hey, don't change when you get up here. Like, if that's what you do on 3-0, then and I give you the green light and I tell you to go ahead and swing, I want you to take the same approach down there or up here as you did down there. And that's part of learning to be a good baseball player. You're a good baseball player. Now you're at the big league level, but you don't have to change how you swing or your approach sometimes in certain counts. And that's an approach and an account that they don't want him changing his approach on.
You know, you almost on 3-0 want to put a hit and run on. In other words, I'm forcing you to swing.
That's right.
Hansen pops this one to shallow left field. It's going to be up to the shortstop, DeYoung, and he makes a nice play. So 2 outs. And that'll bring Garcia to the plate. Garcia struck out looking. And here he pops it up. And that's going to end the inning. Let the guy with the sunglasses take it. It remains 2-0.
The ballpark as the Giants take on the Padres, and there are special guests coming for a pregame VIP Q&A panel in Triples Alley. Actors Lawrence Fishburne from Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Lou Ferrigno, the original Hulk. I'm kind of excited about that. This special VIP experience includes a giant man bobblehead and a custom signed lithograph by comic book artist Humberto Ramos, signed by Forever Giant Brian Wilson. For tickets to this event, visit sfgiants.com/special events for tickets.
All right, good job. As Suarez goes out.
Lou Ferrigno's coming.
He is.
You getting a picture with him?
In your youth, he had to be pretty large
awesome.
figure, right?
He was awesome. I always thought he looked more like the Jolly Green Giant. You know how they kind of painted him green, but it was awesome.
He did. Here's Jose Martinez. And he takes a strike. Martinez doubled into right center field in the third. Yeah. 1-2. This has been a typical Suarez start. Keeps the team in the game, gives you a chance to win.
Yeah, he works fast. Both pitchers have worked fast.
Yes, they have. DeYoung on deck, and then Ozuna. And he went around. And Mr. Martinez can sit down, even though he would choose not to. So here's DeYoung. DeYoung has struck out twice, both times swinging. And the first pitch breaking ball.
You do have to be careful with a guy like this. He's got 19 homers. He's only hitting 240, but he swings big and he swings a lot of pitches. But if you're not careful and you start to get a little lazy in the strike zone with him.
Well, he does take a healthy cut. Ozuna is on deck. And now he's having a hard time picking up Suarez. It's 1-2. Two and two. .72 pitches. Mike likes to say 15 an inning. Got him for the third time. And that's strikeout number 5.
Here's that last pitch. They stayed arm side the whole time with those fastballs and changeups. They would throw that little cutter in, but he's a pull guy, and pull guys have a hard time taking those sinkers, anything moving away from them and trying to pull that ball, you can pull off, and that's what'll happen right there, and they'll swing just off the end of that fastball and miss it.
Ozuna takes a ball. Two balls and no strikes.
I think we should have our own call for that. Like Ozuna takes a strike, called a ball. That would probably be, you know, there's a lot of that going on.
You mean umpire misses? Is that what you're saying? Well, I'm assuming somewhere they keep track of that. Is that we don't ever know about it. Popped up. Ellen Hansen. It'll be a long run, and Hansen is going to overrun it just a little bit, and then he makes the catch to end the inning. After 5, it's 2-0 Cardinals. San Francisco Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area, home of the authentic fan. We do have a pretty good number of Giants fans that have walked around town at our hotel. As Chase Darno is going to pinch hit. Two nothing. Sixth inning, one hit for the Giants. A Hundley leadoff double in the fifth. Darno on the first pitch, foul. Michaelis with 5 strikeouts, no walks. He's gotten shot twice. So I would say Suarez solid.
You're good. Ray Black warming up in the pen.
Curveball in for a strike, 0-2.
Ozuna's probably out there in left field hearing how loud the glove is hitting, and he's probably thinking, ooh.
Yeah, I just made the last out.
Kind of happy about that.
Here's the 0-2 to Darno, and it's in the dirt.
Possible cup check, we would call that. Molina blocked that ball and went down to his knees. Never fun to see.
Umpire give him a little bit of a breather.
Nope.
Got him in the neck, huh?
Neck check is actually what I meant.
All the gear that catchers wear, the ball will find a spot where you don't have anything to protect it. There's 1,000 old catchers at home agreeing with me. Swing and a miss. '19 group ticket deposits are now available to secure a space at the front of the line for some of 2019's biggest games. You can place your deposit for group tickets at sfgiants.com/2019. Darno strikes out. Here's Blanco, Gregor Blanco. Blanco takes a strike. He's bounced out twice. Joe Panik's on deck. Giants are looking for a bloop and a blast. One-two pitch. It's just outside. All right. I got this young umpire, Jeremy, that we haven't heard a lot about, Roberto Ortiz. He's done a decent job today.
Yeah, he has. I've been on him a few times, but overall he's been great.
Blanco's not going to be happy with Mr. Ortiz. 2 down.
However, the strike 3 call needs some work. That was kind of a soft punch out.
Yeah, you can
see right here.
That's something you can work on.
Break them all away. Kind of a short jabs.
Yeah. Extend the arms a little bit.
Yeah.
That's my call.
Yeah, it's indecisive.
Get it out. Here's Panik. Panik on the ground slowly to second. And Michaelis with another 1-2-3 inning. Jerko's going to lead things off. 6. We'll have the game for you at 7 right here on NBC Sports Bay Area. Giants return to face the Padres, also streaming live on the NBC Sports app. It's a 2-0 lead. Cardinals on top. Ray Black is a new pitcher. When it's time for a change, thanks PD Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Ray Black's 24th game. See his numbers. Strikeouts are high. Hits and walks are not. He's been susceptible to the long ball with guys on base, and it kind of messes with those numbers a little bit. You will definitely see really hard this inning.
Yeah, he's going to air it out, and he's facing Jerko, who's 1 for 2. And a little bit outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
I do like the adjustments he's making. He's a hard-throwing guy. Guys are catching up to that nowadays for whatever reason. They can hit 100 miles an hour. Him breaking out more sliders. You saw him his last appearance break out a lot more sliders. And I think it's going to be effective for him.
Let's that one go.
Here's that slider first pitch that he should have thought he had it, because he did, but it's tough to sometimes get some of those calls when you're a young guy.
It takes a little off the fastball at 96 and a called strike.
Sometimes I really truly feel you have to earn your stripes. You shouldn't have to, but you have to. You might get a benefit of that call in a couple years, but it's not going to be called consistently for you sometimes. Bum didn't really get that call either a whole lot until he started yelling at the umpires and scaring them and calling that a strike. Intimidation factor.
Yeah, he's not afraid to let his feelings be known. And tight. And the walk. Well, that's not what Black wanted to do, obviously. And that's not something you can get away with very much if you're coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, especially because you're not really a ground ball pitcher most of the time. You'll get your ground balls, but he's not known to be one. You do have a hitter here. I think he's having a good year. I think he's a smart hitter, but I do feel like you can overpower him. Molina's a guy you can probably put a little extra on, and sometimes throwing a slider to a guy like Molina might actually benefit him if you're not careful.
Yeah, you don't like to speed up his bat. Wisdom is running at first. Popped out of play, right out of bed 96, and it's 0-1. That's Wisdom. Molina with a single in the second, then he popped out to panic in the fourth. To right field, and a base hit. So both of Molina's hits this afternoon have gone to right field. And the hitter now will be Bader.
It's a fastball, and it's just up. It's just up out over the plate, and you can get balls by him, but he's coming out over where he's dragging that bat. I think staying in on him a little bit might have helped, but he couldn't seem to locate it earlier. But Molina made him pay, staying out there.
Well, both of Molina's hits have come from pitches that may not have been strikes,
which tells me he's diving out over the plate.
Absolutely.
He's not looking to hit anything in.
Bader with a bunt to throw home. Not going to be in time.
It's a young mistake from a young player who's inexperienced at first. He's been playing pretty good today, but on a squeeze or a delayed squeeze or whatever you want to call it like that, underhanding that ball from that far out is not going to get him out right there, especially with a decently fast guy at third base.
Yeah, true.
I think you saw Garcia was frustrated about that too, but it's a really hard play to make. Underhand.
And you know, given how fast Bader is, he may not have had a play at first.
Yeah, you're right. Seeing where, depending on where Joe Panik was at.
Yeah, it's ruled a sacrifice RBI. Where Joe Panik is.
Yeah, you're not getting to first.
Probably not going to get to first on time.
I've been close. He had a pretty good break over there, but it would have, him having to turn and throw, it would have been a close play.
Off the end of the bat, foul. It's 0-2. The pitcher, Michaelis, is on deck. On the appeal, no swing, so it's 1-2.
You can see Black's missing a lot. Arm side up and in, you know, glove side up and away, and his arm slot seems to be a little lower. And some of these power guys, they throw so hard that they end up going side to side, so they twist to home plate rather than go to home plate, and it causes that ball to kind of be all over the place.
Well, the thing that got Ray Black in trouble here in the 6th is he walked the first guy. There's Okert. On the ground with the runners moving and right where Longoria was. So Molina's coming in, and now they have a shot at Munoz, but Panik doesn't realize it, and another run comes in. Well, that'll be an RBI for Munoz, who did nothing more than hit the ball.
It almost looks like that might have been a little bit of a, is that a hit and run? I mean, usually you wouldn't do it in Molina, but at second, but it looked like everybody was moving when he was throwing that ball. That's the only way I can see a guy like Molina scoring from second base on that ball right there. And like you said, Longoria was there, and I think he moved to the bag.
He was going.
Yep.
So Kurt Young goes out. Michaelis is going to be the hitter. And Michaelis, you can ask him to do a number of things. He singled and knocked in a run on the 4th. It's 4-0. And there's the bunt, and it rolls foul. You know, let's go back to Garcia at first base. We talked about the number of games that he's played in the minor leagues, 28. That's not a lot. And when you're playing a position like that, it's not ground balls, it's not throws in the dirt that essentially are going to create some difficulty. It's the quick thinking plays where you got to do it instinctively right off the bat. And I think he made the right play. I agree with you. I just don't think that he put enough on the ball.
That's right.
Michaelis looked like he went at it, but they're going to say no. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, he kind of underhand tossed it rather than maybe put a little something on the other hand or going with a short arm throw to put some velocity on it.
I mean, it had to be quick. There's the bunt. And Black is going to jump in front of Garcia. Watch what Hundley does on the squeeze play. Because I think Hundley felt like there wasn't a play. And as we documented it, it may not have been a play at first either. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts. Black is out. Okert is in. We'll be back. And that's Stephen Okert.
Okert recently called back up from AAA for September call-ups. There you see it. 7th game, 3 2/3. No runs, just 1 hit, 4 Ks. Hasn't thrown a lot of innings, but that's because Bochy's been using him more in the lefty specialist, base a hitter or 2 type role, which he seems to be excelling in.
Well, he looks like a different guy second time around.
He does a little bit more command with his breaking ball, tick or 2 up on his fastball, velocity wise, which tells me he's probably a little more confident in that pitch and he's a little looser with his arm action.
There's one out. Runners at second and third. And Carpenter takes a fastball inside, 1-0. Martinez is on deck. It's Pierce Johnson in the bullpen. Pop up. And I think it's playable for Longoria. It's over by the dugout, and he makes the catch. Carpenter does not want to leave home plate. And you kind of have to, though.
Yep.
And here comes Bruce Bochy one more time. Nice job by Oker. You like it when those lefties are successful.
Good work. Good work. Love it.
Johnson's coming in. It's 4-0 Cardinals. Try to get the last out and try to get the Giants off the field. And he's going to be going after Jose Martinez.
35th game. 5.36 ERA, 42 innings pitched. He's also been recalled. Broke camp with the team is a little bit of a surprise. They had him in camp, but then all of a sudden when Bum went down and they had a couple injuries, he ended up coming in for the series with Oakland, the pregame series they do right before, the preseason stuff that they do, and all of a sudden you tell him, hey, you made the team.
He had a good spring. Martinez is 1 for 3. And it takes very high. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 runs in. 3 pitchers here in the 6th inning. And it's low and away. He's got a base to play with. Paul DeYoung's on deck, and he struck out 3 times in this game. And there's a high strike to make it 2-1. We're in the 6th. Foul back. It's 2-2. Bader's at third. Munoz is at second. And it's 3-2. Hit well to left and over the head of Shaw. Both runs are going to score, and it's 6-0. So a double for Martinez.
3-2 breaking ball. Curveball hung up in the zone. Kind of started in on him and stayed in, but kind of flipped up there. And when a hitter, you would think, how is 3-2? How are you sitting on a curveball? Hey, when you throw the hanger like that, it pops out of the hand so early. They see it right when you throw it, and they are able to make that adjustment. And unfortunately, he hit it really hard.
It looked so good. So here's DeYoung. O'Neill is running at second. Well, the other thing too, Jeremy, is I don't know, maybe you want to bounce it if you walk him. First base was open. This guy at the plate is a good hitter, but he struggled today. I think we stated all of that before Martinez knocked it over Shaw's head.
And it's a young pitcher, and Hundley, sometimes without being able to do all these mound visits, it's kind of hard to sometimes understand. But Hundley probably didn't want it necessarily there, obviously, but he was saying 3-2, throw a curveball. If we walk him, because there's not as good of a hitter behind him. So let's go after this guy and not give in this dangerous hitter here. And he ended up flipping it up there. And as you get further along in your career, you're going to figure that out. When a catcher says 3-2 curveball, it's like, okay, I'm going to throw my nastiest curveball bottom of the zone or out of it. And if I walk him, I walk him. And he kind of flipped it in there like he tried to throw it for a strike, and it's just not understanding the situation you're in quite yet.
This has been a very long half inning. Giants defensively been on the field a long time. It seems like it was an hour ago that Ray Black walked Jerko to open up the inning. Hit well to left. Shaw doesn't see it. It's off the wall. And it'll be a single for DeYoung. I don't know if Young thought it was gone. Or maybe he just didn't get a good jump out of the box.
I think he halfway thought it was gone, but then when it got over, it looked like maybe even Shaw was coasting under it because he couldn't see it. And then when he hit it off the wall, it was a one-hopper right into his bare hand. If it gets stuck at the bottom of the wall right there or shoots off differently, it's probably a different story. But
Ozuna takes inside for a ball, 1-0. Low, 2-0.
He tossed his bat like he thought he had it. Then he didn't know if he was supposed to. He tripped a little bit coming around there, but I think he just kind of, he didn't haul down there like he was going to get a double, and it ended up.
I agree. Well, it may not matter because Johnson may end up walking Ozuna. It's 3-0.
And there's no one out there right now warming up to save him, so they're letting him.
You're on your own.
Yeah. Letting him pitch this one out.
Yeah. 3-1. Three and 2. Ozuna got what he wanted. He got the right count and he got the fastball to swing at, and he fouled it down the right field line and out of play. And he strikes out to end the inning. Damage done. 5 runs on the board at 7-0. Suarez did a nice job. Longoria, well, he's got a double. The pitcher, the starting pitcher, Mike Michaelis, has done a great job, and Martinez just came up with a double to knock in a couple of runs, and that's his second double of the game. And Michaelis now will go after Longoria. Actually, it was Hundley who had the double in the 5th inning, not Longoria, and there's a called strike. Longoria reached on an error in the 4th. Wisdom is at third. O'Neill is in right field. Longoria down the right field line. This could be trouble, but O'Neill is going to run out of room. maybe the same fan is going to catch this foul ball down the right field line.
Johnson's done. Strickland's warming up.
In the dirt.
Strickland trying to find himself a little bit. His last couple outings, he seemed like I don't know if he's been trying to fix an arm slot or if he's been trying to do something a little different, but he's been erratic, and I think he's trying to finish off strong going into the offseason, having a game plan for next year.
Little tapper, and Munoz literally kicks it. So Munoz not having the greatest of afternoons when it comes to how to play the second base position.
Looks like he got a little lazy on that ball. Like it was almost, he knew he had some time and he just kind of ran over there a little bit and kind of get in a very good position to field that ball, even though he had to run to his left, and he just kind of lazied his glove right there, thought he had it, and hit off the heel of his glove, and then he kicked it, ran into Longoria. That was pretty much a complete circus act right there.
Yeah, that was one that you'd like to forget. Here's Crawford. Crawford takes a strike. Hundley's on deck. And Crawford fouls it off the backstop.
I would say that the Cardinal team's a good team. Offensively, they can put up some runs, pretty good pitching staff. Defensively, I think they have some signs of greatness, but they do make a few too many errors per game for me for them to be able to try to compete in the playoffs long term. I think they have to probably tighten up their defense a little bit.
Well,
made what, 4 errors yesterday?
Yeah, they do sacrifice a little bit of their defense for like Martinez to play in the outfield.
Yeah, I just don't think you can afford to make those kind of errors when it comes down to other teams that are putting up 90 wins. This is
belted to right, down the line, and out of here.
What we were looking for.
And after the error, Crawford hits his 14th home run of the year.
Sometimes when you're trying to find a silver lining, you just get to the point where it's like, yeah, we don't want to get shut out. And they didn't.
And for
see this ball right here, a little curve ball, drops the barrel, and boom goes the dynamite on that ball right there.
That's the 16th home run that Michaelis has allowed. And Hundley takes outside for a ball. Popped up third base side and into the seats.
Tell you what, man, Crawford, he has it in him, huh? I mean, he gets that bat speed going. He can hit balls a long way. You can see that his knee, he kind of said it was bothering him a little bit, and now it's feeling a little bit better, and you can see his swings are completely different. They're more explosive. He's more committed on some of these swings. His timing's a lot better. It's amazing how guys play when they feel better. Sometimes you don't always know what guys are dealing with throughout the year. Trying to get out there and play every day and suck it up.
And Michaelis comes back and he strikes out Hundley. 7th strikeout. Here's Shaw. Shaw has struck out twice. And it runs inside for a ball, 1-0. Bang, bang. Nothing in 2. Or make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Line drive, but it's going to carry right out to Bader. Hit that curveball right on the nose. 2 out. And here's Hansen. Hansen's flied out and he's popped out. And on the first pitch, he rolls it foul. Tomorrow night for the Giants, it'll be Dutch Holland on the mound against Brian Mitchell. Hope to see you out at the ballpark. SFGiants.com. Chris Stratton on Tuesday against Robbie Erlin. The Giants have not announced who they're going to pitch on Wednesday against Eric Lauer. 49ers postgame live is airing right now on NBC Sports Bay Area Plus, which can be found on channels listed on your screen. If you can't find NBC Sports Bay Area Plus, log on to NBCSportsBayArea.com or call your TV provider. So 1 and 2 to Hansen. If Hansen reaches, it'll be Garcia. And he just got a piece. As I mentioned, the Cardinals are in for a huge week of baseball. They're only going to take on the Brewers and the Cubs, 2 teams that are in front of them. And Hansen again just stays alive.
Playoff baseball, man. That's whoever gets in for the Central, they earned it. That race is pretty tight all the way around. It's amazing how that schedule works, huh?
It is amazing, and the Cardinals think that their best pitcher, their starter, is going tomorrow night, and that's John Flaherty.
He's having a good year. This guy here might be competing with him for being the best pitcher, though.
You're right. Not likely that they can catch the Cubs. This is driven down the right field line, and that's going to be foul. But Milwaukee thinks they can catch the Cubs, and so it'll be a spirited battle.
Throw a real wrinkle in things, though, if the Cubs get swept by the Cardinals.
The games against the Cubs will be in Chicago.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
Two pitch. $46,596 here at the park. The pitch. Hansen stays alive. They want to get Hansen out with a breaking ball.
Well, even though he's fouling him off, he seems to be pulling off that breaking ball and mishitting it a fastball. He almost hit for a homer.
Lifts this out to Ozuna. And that'll end the inning. Giants on the board. They reach on a Lagori, reaches on an air, and then Crawford hits his 14th of the year. And it's bye-bye baby. Hit it well. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, it's 7-2 St. Louis.
No hidden fees. That's transparency. By Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Cresco. Your #1 choice for tool and equipment rental with 19 stores to serve you in Northern California.
Here it's a 7-2 lead for the Cardinals. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Hunter Strickland on the mound, 45th game on the year. Spent some time on the Sable list. 14 for 18 saves, 3.73 ERA. Kind of jumped up a little bit in the last couple weeks. He's looking to kind of settle back down and finish this year strong.
This is Wisdom, Patrick Wisdom, who came in as a pinch runner. He'll get his first at bat. Pinch ran for Jerko.
And when you've been struggling a little bit, it seems like those calls do not go your way. Borderline 97 on the outside corner. It's weird how baseball makes you work for it at times. And you got to pitch out of some slumps.
2 balls and 1 strike. John Brebbia is in the bullpen getting loose. That's a good pitch. 2-2. Seems his velocity seems to be up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was down for a while after he came back. He was out for what, 6 weeks?
He was, yep. Kind of came back pitching pretty well. It's just kind of had a little bump in the road. I think that's the pitch right there he's trying to gain a feel for. It's not a bad slider. It's actually been breaking pretty late. He's just starting it on the outer half instead of the inner half. And if you're trying to get that slider to be on the outside corner, you have to start it a little closer to the hitter than what he's starting it.
'49ers Post-Game Live is airing right now on NBC Sports Area Plus, which can be found on channels listed on your screen. If you can't find NBC Sports Area Plus, log on to NBCSportsBarea.com or call your TV provider.
You know the word's gotten out on you too when the hitter goes up and he works a 3-2 count and walks and he doesn't swing at a pitch. They're gonna force you to try to throw strikes, and if they think that you have a situation where they don't believe that you can replicate your delivery, scouts will see it, the report will get out, and they'll say, hey, work the count on this guy, don't swing at pitches you don't need to swing at. And they tend to kind of take even the close pitches they don't swing at, because
and Molina pops it up, maybe playable for Garcia, but it's going to be just out of play. So it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Yachty picking another catcher up right there. Grabbed his helmet for him, handed it to him. Doesn't want him to bend over too many different ways. This time of year, you might pull something.
One knows exactly what the other one feels like. The 0-2. Turned on by Molina and popped down the left field line, and it's going to be out of play or out of reach. And the hunt is on. On the ground, one big hop to Panic to Crawford. 2 down.
It's definitely some things you need when you're trying to work out of a little bit of a funk and you walk the leadoff guy. You're in your head a little bit. You work a pretty good count on the next hitter, and pitching is so mental. I'm telling you, you got to have stuff go your way to get confidence back into what you're trying to do, so that you feel like all the work that you're doing is bringing results. And that kind of a situation there is exactly what that was. Hopefully for Hunter, is to let him know that, hey man, keep throwing strikes. We're going to get more plays like that for you. Be confident in who you are, and that hopefully that play helped tip the scale a little bit.
Bader, who takes a wild swing and a miss. Bader's been on twice. Reached on a sacrifice bunt in the 6th, and then he also doubled earlier than that. And he's got a base hit to right field.
Well, that's a perfect example of someone beating the shift. I'm not saying that maybe, depending on the situation, I don't know if a second baseman would have got there regardless, but there was no chance of anybody being there based on the shift they were having. They had him right behind second base and then all the way over on a super shift. And if you don't hit your spot and you don't hit your location, those kind of things can happen, because you put them in so much of a shift they can't even recover for you.
Here's Munoz, who picked up the first RBI in the game with a 2-out base hit off of Andy Suarez. And a foul back, and it's no balls and 1 strike. It's only a 5-run game, so you still have to keep an eye on Bader. And a high fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. And a good pitch to make it 1-2. Hansen fairly shallow in right field. Good look at the defense. Two and two. Garcia holding on Harrison Bader at first. And that's going to end the inning. We will head to the 8th. It's 7-2 Cardinals. It'll be the Padres and Giants, Brian Mitchell against Dutch Holland. And Mitchell, Giants saw Mitchell when they opened up the series in San Diego on Monday. And the Padres also saw Derek Holland earlier this week. So Padres will be in for 3. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. There's Brebbia.
Brebbia's 43rd game, 3.42 ERA, 47 innings pitched. Just pretty good standard year for a good reliever. And had the Cardinal knowledge experts just hand me something because I was kind of wondering about his beard first night they played, because it's more than out of control. It's distracting. And they said he shaves on opening day.
When this pop-up comes down, you're going to get to hear the end of this great story. Go ahead.
He shaves on opening day and does not shave for the rest of the season. And then he just lets it do whatever it does. He started that when he was an independent ball, when he found out the pitchers the year before did that. Interesting tradition.
Well, he must have thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. Just gets so hot in the Midwest, and that beard can't be comfortable.
And you better be married, because you're not going to get any dates, that's for sure.
You better have a forgiving wife. Oof.
Here's Hunter Pence, who swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Hunter Pence, as a pinch hitter, you can always tell it's like he's going to take the fact that he's only going to get one at bat by swinging as hard as he can and as fast as he can.
Beard versus beard right here. Out of control, both of them.
One ball and 2 strikes. I mean, if Rich Aurelia did that, you wouldn't be able to see his body.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
that,
like
that
Teen
beard
Wolf.
right there is a week's worth for Aurelia.
Yeah, he'd be like Teen Wolf, except it'd be really gray. But, you know, happens. He's old.
Yeah. In the dirt, a 1 hopper, it's 2-2.
I actually think all of the pre and post game guys should go unshaven until the next time the Giants go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Estes, I don't even think he can grow facial hair, so it'd be really funny to see what it looked like if he did.
Yeah. Pence with a base hit to left field. Swing at Hunter. Flannery.
Flannery would be an interesting one.
Yeah. Ahmed.
He tried that. He tried the whole beard thing. Again, it looked like an old man's beard because he's really gray and blotchy, but he still would be good with it. He'd still be good with it.
Yeah. Lasky.
He'd have a good one, I think.
Yeah. Randy Wynn.
Oof. Oof. That would be a bad one.
Yeah. Here's Gregor. There's a call strike. Torres.
He'd have a good one, though. That's like a Miami beard.
Yeah.
Bald head with a beard right there. That'd be good. That'd be a good one. He would definitely shape that sucker, too. Like, he'd manscape that thing. Javi would be another fun one for me.
Yeah. He could do it.
I don't think he can.
No.
I think I always got on him for not doing it. He's like, what am I supposed to? I can't grow any facial hair. You know,
Really?
He's got the James Bond clean shave, doesn't try, looks good look, you know? Like.
1 ball and 1 strike to Blanco, who's 0 for 3. And he takes a close pitch. It's 2-1. We're in the 8th. Giants down by 5. They've only had 3 hits in this game. Pence's hit was number 3. And they have number 4. So Brebbia allows back-to-back singles, and here's Panic. Molina's going to go out. The Giants really just need to keep moving the line along and then hope somebody pops one. Panic takes outside. Joe's got 4 home runs on the year. Remember, he had a home run on opening day off of Kershaw. Hit one the next day off of Kenley Jansen. And that's what you call starting out the year hot.
Yeah.
High into center field. It looks like it's in the park. Bader shading his eyes. Pence is going to tag. He's got a good arm. And Pence makes it. So Bader shows off a good arm.
Guessing the Cardinals are going to check, because when he slid into third base, it looked like he popped up off the bag there. And checking to see if there's any distance.
Yeah, he's out. I think he's out.
I think they're going to have it checked. Yep, because I think that he came off.
I don't think there's any doubt that it sure looked like he came off the bag. It's the play that they're not going to look at it. It's the play that the replay was not really intended.
Yeah, to catch that.
To catch that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on. They get umpires pointing at each other.
Are they saying he left early? They're saying Hunter left. They think he left early.
So they're going to do that first and then check?
Good chance. Delay of game is going to be severe.
So now they're going to check. We think.
So now they want to check to see if he popped up off the bag now.
That's right. Geez, Kerwin, it's not your first day here.
Yeah.
Come on.
They're doing the whole like headset over the ear like sign,
which everybody in the park knows what that means. So here's where we think he popped up.
It all depends on when the glove touched him. He definitely was in between the bag at some point in time. If the glove is on him, the angle is the other angle. You got it.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity. It really is.
But it's got to have enough to overturn it, correct? This is that one where it could be iffy, because if it's not enough.
Yeah, it is too bad that replay is being used for this, and I get you want to get the call right, but for 120 years, that play right there, the guy's safe.
He's safe, and no one would complain about it or even think twice.
Move on, let's go. You know, Mike and I have talked about this before. What you're really asking runners to do is to go in with your hands first, and then you're going to have more hand injuries.
Broken hands. I don't think there's going to be enough, in my opinion, unless they have a different angle on the camera to overturn this call.
Ron Wotus just stood there and folded his arms. I feel the same way you do, Ron. Where's John Smoltz when we need him? Come up with some more suggestions.
Yeah.
So, as this game was slowly moving along, came to a dead stop. Panic is out. That won't change. Penn stays at third. That won't change. And Evan Longoria is going to hit. Jordan Hicks is warming up. Would you like to face Jordan Hicks with the shadows?
Nope. That's 104 with movement and disappearing into the shadow on you. It's not going to be fun for a hitter.
Outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
And you know Crawford's standing up there thinking,
come on, Longo. You can get a hit here. So Brebbia is not really that interested in moving this game along.
no. And Crawford's really hoping that Longoria gets this hit like right now before Hicks is ready.
That's true.
So he can not have to face 105.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Not saying he couldn't hit him, just saying most hitters wouldn't feel very comfortable right now hitting off of him.
I got you. Out of play, 0-2. Looks like the Brewers are going to beat the Pirates, so as far as the Brewers and Cardinals, if the Cardinals hang on to win this one, things are not going to change in that regard. And it looks like the Cubs are going to beat the White Sox. And that'll end the inning. 7-2 Cardinals.
Every moment this season. Get Giants home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Bottom of the 8th, Cardinals up over the Giants 7-2. And when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Casey Kelly, 5 games, 2 starts, 2.04 ERA, been pretty effective since he's been called up. sent back down and called back up again, but he's done what they've asked him to do, and he's been able to showcase what he can do, hopefully to try to earn a spot next year on this team.
The making his major league debut is the guy at the plate now, Edmundo Sosa. Yeah, a nice round of applause. It's 7-2 St. Louis. Come on, you don't want to walk.
No, not your first at bat.
Give him the green light.
He's got a little pool holes in him, huh? Approach.
A little bit, yeah. And he pulls the 3-0 pitch foul.
Not as big as pool holes, but the setup.
How about that? First major league at bat, you get a 3-0 green light, which I have no problems with. My first major league at bat, the Giants had a great catcher by the name of Tom Haller, who went on to be a GM with the Giants. He had a brother, Bill Haller, who was an umpire in the American League, and he was the umpire when I walked up to home plate for the very first time, and I had to walk by him to get to home plate. And he was an older umpire at the time, and he said, "You won't walk." So
that's how it used to be back in the day.
Kind of sent the message that,
yeah,
why don't you swing the bat? And the idiot that I am, I hit the first pitch to the first baseman for a 3-6-3 double play, and Gaylord Perry met me at the step, and he goes, "I don't know what league you've played in before, but here in the big leagues, you're 0 for 2. It's good. I mean, at that point, it was like, okay, Mr. Perry.
Yeah.
Here's Carpenter, 1 ball and 1 strike. Carpenter hitless in 4 at bats.
He's got some good humor, doesn't he? Still?
Who?
Gaylord?
He has humor now. He wasn't humorless when he pitched. Hit high. And deep. Gone. It's his 36th. That he loved.
Looked like it was a middle changeup, and that ball rarely comes back in that location. I mean, that's just it's not what he was trying to do, but
well, I think Mr. Kelly just sent a message, and Cardinals are not going to like it, but it looked like that hit O'Neill on the shoulder.
I don't think it was a fastball, though, was it? The camera doesn't even like where the sun's at right now. Oh, smoky. It looked like it was like a backup slider or something. But there's always drama for a hitter thinking you threw at him.
Here's DeYoung. Takes outside for a ball, but that haze you see there is from the fireworks, which makes it look like it shot off right in front of our camera and just stayed there. Ozuna is on deck. Andy Young strikes out for the 4th time on a pitch that was in the dirt. So here's Ozuna. Ozuna's 0 for 3. Ozuna pops this one high and foul. And Longoria will watch it sail out of play. One out, one on. And a high fastball taken 1-2. Giants opened up the road trip by winning the first 2 games in San Diego. Lost the final game, and then they lost the first 2 games in this series. No swing. This year on the road, Giants have not played well on the road. They're 31-49. And that pitch is high, 3-2. Got him. I do think, judging by those swings, it is hard to see.
Yeah.
Although Carpenter didn't think so, but he hit one of those pitches where you might be able to hit that one in the dark.
Yeah, and it's like if you asked him what it was, he might not even know. He might have been swinging at a fastball and just ended up running into a changeup. Because you're not picking up the spin for sure on any pitch right now. So you're guessing heater, and he probably just ran into a changeup for a homer. That's why that pitch middle is such a dangerous pitch.
Wisdom came in as a pinch runner in the 6th. He faced Strickland in the 7th, and he drew a walk. And he fouls this one back to even the count at a ball and a strike.
You lose it right almost at the hitting zone. Right when you're supposed to try to hit it, you actually lose that ball, looks like, in the shadows.
Right when you're supposed to make a decision whether you want to swing or not. On the ground to Longoria, and that's going to end the inning. Every once in a while, the ball will catch the player.
That was it.
Ninth inning coming up. And they're going to bring you the happy hour on NBC Sports Bay Area and the NBCSportsBayArea.com. Also available to listen live as a podcast on NBCSportsBayArea.com. It's I don't even know what the score is. 9-2 Cardinals. Giovanni Gallegos is the new pitcher when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts. They're telling us it's pronounced Gallegos.
Gallegos. Not Gallegos. Gallegos.
Gallegos.
4 games with New York, so they had brought him over in the Voit trade. Was it Voit that went over there?
Yep.
So it's his.
Who's doing pretty well in that old Yankee uniform. And he's facing Brandon Crawford, who homered. 1 ball and no strikes.
I'm thinking there's a real good chance Crawford never saw that ball.
Yeah.
Because he stood up to get out of his swing crouch after they caught it and it ejected from his mitt.
Crawford fouls it back. He hit his home run right down the line. Right field line. A breaking ball.
Yep, breaking ball, drops some barrel. Dangerous, down into a lefty.
And that one sails off the top of Pena's glove, who's now catching.
Hey, even the Hall of Famer probably was like, nah, the shadows, dudes are throwing 100. No, I'm good. You go get him, buddy.
I'm happy with what's been going on tonight as it fouled off of Pena's glove again. Crawford with a swing and a miss. And here's Hundley. Pena is now catching. Garcia is now in left field. Hundley is 1 for 3. Shaw is on deck. Hundley with a foul off the end of the bat over towards the Cardinal dugout. One and one to Hundley. Hundley fouls another one off the screen. One of our favorites, Willie McGee, who spent, I don't know what, 4 years in a Giants uniform. From the Bay Area. His family's back in the Bay Area. He's got a bunch of grandkids now. And he doesn't look any different now than he did when he played for the Cardinals and when he played for the Giants. And is such a great guy. This is full foul.
Dude was fast.
He was one of the most unique players that I ever played against in how he played. With his speed, he had some power. He could run around in the outfield and catch everything. And just as humble could be. In tight to Hundley. And it's great to see him back in uniform because he looks good in his uniform. In that classic Cardinal uniform. Another foul back. Those Cardinal teams, when I came to the National League in 1982 is when they went to the World Series. And every guy was fast. And when they started running the bases, it was almost like synchronized swimming. Huntley shoots one just below us.
A lot of excitement. I just don't know how he caught it. Did he barehand that?
He did, yeah. Well, he's got a Stan Musial t-shirt on. So
Kevin Mitchell'd it?
I think he did. 2-2. Huntley out swinging. 2 down. It was interesting talking to Mike about his dislike for the Cardinals because he was with the Cubs in that rivalry, and he always said, you know, you wanted to dislike every one of those guys over there, but Willie McGee, he was like, oh my goodness, I can't dislike him. Here's Shaw in a swing. He ain't gonna miss. Shaw with 2 strikeouts in a line drive to center field. And the next pitch is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants will get on a plane and head home. Back to the Bay Area. Shaw with a base hit to right field. Moving over is O'Neill, and Shaw will stop at first. And you're going to get on a plane and head to Texas. So
I am.
Another successful season for you here in the booth. So way to go.
Not record-wise.
Well,
a little upset.
I don't think any of us have a good road record, to be honest with you.
But I had fun. It's a good time.
Yeah. It's being a part of the game without the pain.
Yeah, I don't stress about winning and losing a whole lot. I feel for the guys, but I sleep better than they do.
Yeah. Hansen pops it out of play. The hit for Shaw, the 5th in the game for the Giants. Hansen pops it back and out of play.
I did almost go on the broadcast DL though with the laryngitis issue in Denver. That almost ruined it.
Well, now looking back at it, I think you should have. Given the fact that you were no help. But once you got the shot, you were good to go. Hansen takes up and in. Here's the 1-2. And down the right field line, that's going to be foul. So Hansen fighting as hard as he can to just keep the line moving. That's a swinging foul. Easy, Cardinal fans. You can't send us home that fast. Let's go. 1-2. Hansen waits the pitch, and he stays alive.
He's been a pest all day, huh? Fouling that off, fouling that stuff off.
Absolutely.
He hasn't got hits, but he's been making these pitchers work to get him out.
This will be pitch number 23. And it's low and in. It's 2-2. There's Aramis Garcia waiting. Shaw with his lead. And this is lifted out to left for Garcia. And that's the ball game. Well, the Cardinals do what they needed to do, and that's take care of the Giants. Giants had opportunities in the series to win a game or two. Not today, as they didn't muster up much offense. And the Cardinals end up sweeping the Giants in this 3-game series. So now you head home, and you got 6 games remaining, and play the best 6 games that you can.
Yep, you got to try to win at home and try to end on a good note, because it's been a frustrating year on the road for the Giants.
And also, you got 6 games for our Giants fans to say a healthy goodbye to